Hi, I'm Regan, and this is my Passion Time project. It's a website, and I'm in Mr. Solars' class at Westgate School in Arlington Heights. Um, I'm doing a website on how easily the brain can be fooled. Uh, so my first part is, what are common things that startle or frighten people and why? My first thing is roller coasters, and I have like a little summary of it. Your family tells you it'll be fun, and you believe it. You slowly lift to the top of that track hill, and your stomach and brain switch places. How is this fun? Your family is cheering for joy. You don't understand. Why? Roller coasters appeal to the same part of the brain that enjoys horror movies, extreme sports, and other activities that give you an adrenaline rush or startle you. If our brains are hardwired to enjoy controlled fear, then why do some hate coasters? Well, some people are afraid of being afraid, and afraid of not being able to control their fear. Some people just don't like the feeling of the adrenaline rush. The next thing in the center here is scary movies. So you watch a scary movie, and that night you're covering your head with your sheets. Why? Well, one of the reasons scary movies appeal to some people is the feeling after the movie. For some, that adrenaline rush afterwards feels awesome. For some others, it's horrific. That adrenaline rush increases their heart rate, blood pressure, and respiration, and that's what freaks some people out. People who love that rush normally love roller coasters and thrilling activity or other thrilling activities. And my third thing here is nightmares. Shorter than the rest of them. Oh no, it's coming, ah! You wake up horrified. Why? After you wake up from a nightmare, you're still half asleep, and since your senses are dulled, and that you woke up from the nightmare being afraid, you automatically think you're still in the nightmare and remember how afraid you were, making you more afraid. And so on. My next section here is what parts of the brain help us handle fear. Well, I have the amygdala and reptilian brain. So let's start with the amygdala. Just an emotion, but a biological instinct designed to help us survive. One of the parts of our brain that helps us with fear is the amygdala. The amygdala is a peanut sized part of your brain that determines whether a situation is dangerous, then fires signals to other parts of the brain. This also triggers the release of hormones, which causes reactions like muscle tensing and sweating. There are also these things called fight or flight hormones, controlled by the amygdala. They determine a situation, if you should fight it or flight it, which is run away. Like if you suddenly spot a vicious gorilla glaring at you, your amygdala's fight or flight response will determine whether you fight it or run away. Reptilian brain. The reptilian part of our brain is thought to come from our reptilian ancestors and includes all the main parts of a reptile's brain. The reptilian system is reliable but tends to get somewhat compulsive or dramatic. For example, when you're experiencing some kind of anxiety, like a scary movie, your reptilian brain will tell you that you're in danger. That's why you get scared when doing things like that. When you break down why you're so scared later on, it doesn't make sense. Your reptilian brain has fooled you with irrational anxiety and fear. Since you're not afraid now, you can't understand it. And this is the general idea and summary of this part. So basically, when you're encountering something your reptilian brain thinks is dangerous, your amygdala releases hormones that cause reactions. Your reptilian brain, of course, is being a little dramatic, which can be good in a real situation, but in a scary movie, roller coaster, or nightmare, or anything else pleasurably thrilling, it's not necessarily a good thing. Your brain is fooled by your reptilian brain and fight or flight hormones controlled by your amygdala, overreacting and thinking the harmless situation is dangerous, causing irrational fear or anxiety. Everyone has experienced irrational fear due to your hormones tricking your reptilian brain and amygdala. Alright, now this is the next section, sensory cortex and hypothalamus. The sensory cortex is a part of your brain that controls your muscle tensing reactions based on fear or surprise. Like if you laid your hand on a stove, your sensory cortex will make you jerk your hand backwards. It also works with irrational fear. Like if you hate roller coasters, it might make you grip the handlebars because you think you're in danger. Hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a section of the brain responsible for the production of many of the body's essential hormones, chemical substances that help control different cells and organs. The hormones from the hypothalamus take control of uh, uh, physiologic functions such as temperature regulation, thirst, hunger, sleep, and mood. Thirst, hunger, sleep, and mood are essential parts in fear response. When you're thirsty, hungry, tired, or moody, that can make you more dramatic or sensitive, changing how you respond to fear or stress. And that's the general idea and summary of this part. Sensory cortex controls all of your muscle reactions that were transferred by the amygdala and reptilian brain. It can also react to irrational fears. The hypothalamus controls hormones, which take charge of physiologic responses, which trigger different types of fear response. Not too complicated. And Passion Time by Passion Time project by Regan R. in Mr. Solis' fifth grade class at Westgate Elementary School. Um,